Yo, 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 what it do, what it do, what it do, yo? Team K here, the Med Collector, back for the first part of my Blu-Ray collection. Yes, finally get to the movies. I'm a big movie head. I love watching movies. Been collecting them since the early 2000s when I first got my DVD player. You know what I'm saying? It was a wrap since then. And yeah, I've been pretty big on collecting movies. Um, Love to do that shit, and I love watching movies, of course. Having quite an extensive collection. You know what I'm saying, but you definitely start to notice a theme watching these videos because I definitely have my favorite genres that I like to watch. You know what I'm saying? You'll see, you'd most definitely see a lack of romance movies. Don't have too many comedies. I do have some, but not that many. Um, but I usually just collect movies that are, that are appealing to me, man. I'm not one of those hoarders that buy whatever movie I can get my hands on. No, you know what I'm saying? For me, I'm one of those collectors that just like to buy what I like, you know what I'm saying, that I like to watch, that I like to put on when I'm in the mood for it, you know what I'm saying? Movies that I love, not necessarily movies that just collect dust, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, with that being said, let's get right into it with the first movie, and that is 13 Assassins. This is a movie by Takashi Miike. Takashi Miike has a very, very extensive filmography, of over 100 movies. Only seen a few of them, no, a couple of them actually. This being one of them, and then another movie that you will see in the course of this video. And 13 Assassins, great samurai film. Love samurai films to death. It's some of my favorite genres in movies, period. You know what I mean? And 13 Assassins is really, really well done samurai film. First two acts, a little bit of slow burners, you know what I'm saying? But then in the third act, in the climax, when this big battle happens, where these 13 assassins face off a whole army, bro. God damn, this fucking whole final act is incredible, man. You know what I mean? 13 Assassins. Great, great movie. Very underrated, if you ask me. Going from one underrated movie to another, 187. My favorite Samuel Jackson performance right here. Yeah. A lot of people might think it's blasphemous for me to say because, of course, the performance that everybody remembers from Sam Jackson is, of course, his performance in Pulp Fiction. But for me, this is when Samuel Jackson actually acted. You know what I mean? Like, bro, in every other movie, he just screams and says the word motherfucker time in and time out. Bro, he's dope, you know what I'm saying? I love Sam Jackson, but I feel like roles like this, are the ones that really showcase his acting talent, you know what I'm saying? When he's a little bit reserved, a little bit on the calmer side, you know what I'm saying? And I love that part of his acting, man. You know what I'm saying? I wish he did more movies like this. And yeah, this movie is great. It shows how one traumatic experience can really change a person forever, you know what I mean? And yeah, this movie is phenomenal. The only thing that is a little bit jarring when you watch it the first time is the soundtrack, because it has like an acid jazz soundtrack that is not for everybody's taste. You know what I'm saying? It's very much a 90s thing. But after like the first 2 or 3 tracks, you actually get used to it and you start to enjoy it. One of the best and most underrated hood movies that you will ever watch. I love 187. It's so good. And then we got 300. A Zack Snyder movie based on a Frank Miller comic. And this movie is really fun. It's not the best movie that there is. It's not even the best comic book movie there is. But in terms of entertainment value, visuals, and just action and all of that stuff, this movie is the shit, bro. I really love 300, man. That movie was very impressive for its time. It came out in '06, and Still has very great visuals to this day. It definitely got that whole comic aesthetic down to a T. Love this shit, man. Of course, Gerard Butler as King Leonidas. Legendary, bro. Just like this movie right here. Oh yeah, by the way, you will see these rating logos, those German ratings logos a lot, man. Just on a quick side note, but 8 Mile. Love me some 8 Mile. I'm not the biggest Eminem fan at this point, but gotta say, man, Eminem as an actor, quite underrated, you know what I'm saying? And this was actually the only movie where he played the main part, you know what I'm saying? Every other movie that he was a part of, he played a very minor role, but here, played the main part and killed it, you know what I'm saying? Granted, he played the main part, you know what I'm saying? He basically played himself in this film, you know what I'm saying? Because it's about a guy who comes up in the Detroit freestyle rap battle circuit, and of course, you know, Eminem did just that, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, really love this movie, man. Love the whole concept of it, the whole vibe of this thing, man. How it really feels like a 90s film. And it's just phenomenal, bro. I love that movie. So good. And this is one of those movies that really shaped my love for 90s hip-hop in a big way, you know what I'm saying? I was always a fan of old school hip-hop, even then when this one came out, when I was like 10. But, you know, when I got the more music from 8 Mile soundtrack, you know, with all of these classic 90s songs like Shimmy Shimmy Ya by ODB, Ronin by the Far Side, Cream by Wu-Tang, you know, it was a rap after that, man. They got Gotta Get Mine on, by MC Breed on there. It was a rap after that shit, man, and I was like, yo, this music is definitely my thing. I love me some 90s hip-hop, and this is one of those movies that shaped my love for 90s hip-hop. Then we got American History X, a movie that perfectly exemplifies the senselessness of racism in the most powerful way, man. Like, whenever you watch that movie, you just turn the TV off and you just think about what you saw, man. And that's the effect it had on me. You know what I'm saying? Every time I watch this movie, I just turn it off and think about, you know, the state of the world and racism and all that shit, and how it can destroy families, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just a very powerful movie, man. Amazing film. You know what I mean? And of course, you know, performances were outstanding. I mean, Edward Norton as the main character, you know what I'm saying? I still believe to this day that this guy is a closet racist, bro, because he was way too good in that role, man. He was way too good playing this neo-Nazi character, bro. He was, man, that guy was crazy in that movie, man. And of course, you know, Edward Furlong, sadly, you know, went off the path after, you know, he became a child actor and, man, became a casualty of drug addiction, just like a lot of child actors, you know what I mean? Moving on with American Psycho, with Christian Bale as Patrick Bateman, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a movie inspired by Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho a little bit, not by much, but just a little bit. And yeah, it's also, I think, also based on a novel, if I'm not mistaken. Great fucking movie. Did not really love it at first, but it actually took me some time to get into it. But man, after a while, I was like, yo, this is the shit. I especially just love it for Christian Bale's performance, man. Like, he was super duper crazy in this film. And it was enjoyable as fuck, man. You know what I'm saying? He was a complete lunatic in that film. Then we got Pineapple Express. Now, this is also something you're going to see a lot in these videos. German titles. You know what I'm saying? Here it says Ananas Express. Ananas means pineapple in Germany. You know what I'm saying? But of course, I always do my best to name the original title. Maybe also show it if I can. Pineapple Express here. That's where it says Pineapple Express. But yeah, man. Great fucking stoner film. You know what I'm saying? Well made. Very fun. Entertaining. You know what I'm saying? Mindless little stoner film is just a stoner film, bro. It's not much to say about it other than it's a funny, little bit action packed, just great. You know what I'm saying? And I also love Seth Rogen, man. Like Seth Rogen, he's one of those dudes, man. They can make any movie they want without any big repercussions, bro. Just fucking look at the interview. You know what I'm saying? He made a movie about killing Kim Jong-un and nothing happened, bro. Like how can you pull that off, bro? I just don't get it. But respect to him, man, for doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because not a lot of people would make that shit, you know what I mean? We got, man, this is one of my favorites right here. Army of Darkness. Army of Darkness, the third movie in the Evil Dead series, or Evil Dead trilogy. Complete departure from the two previous movies in tone, setting, everything. You know what I'm saying? Because the first two movies were straight up horror. You know what I'm saying? Horror from top to bottom. It's not much funny stuff going on in there. This one is very much on the humoristic side. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of humor in it. Not that much violence or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And also it does not take place in a cabin. This one takes place in the medieval times. And it's fun as hell, bro. Like, in theory, I should hate this movie because I absolutely freaking adore the first two Evil Dead films, but somehow I still enjoy this one a lot, man. I think it's because of Bruce Campbell as Ash Williams. Bruce Campbell as Ash is just legendary, bro. You know what I mean? Just amazing. I love Army of Darkness. Then we got a little fantasy movie right here, starring Eddie Murphy. And this is another one of my absolute faves, man. You know what I'm saying? I've had this movie on DVD before, you know. I bought it like in the mid-2000s and I watched this movie religiously. Like, and I'm not the biggest fantasy movie fan, but bro, it's just Eddie Murphy, bro. You know, you cannot go wrong with Eddie Murphy in the 80s, bro. He did some of the best fucking comedy movies that you can find. And this was one of them. The Golden Child was just incredible. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Golden Child, by the way. Yeah, man, this is the shit, bro. So good, man. So good. Fucking love it. It's not one of the best, you know, Eddie Murphy movies from the 80s, but far from the worst. You know what I mean? This was still one of the better movies that he did in the 80s. Absolutely amazing. Shoutouts to my brother Numzi. Yeah, man, it's one of the dopest films of the 80s, man. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that shit. This movie is phenomenal. I love it. Then we got the first Michael Bay movie. You know, Michael Bay, he was a music video director and shit, and then eventually he started making movies. And this was his first movie. It was an action film starring Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. And these two, man, Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, they exploded on the screen, man. They are such a great on-screen duo. You know what I'm saying? Especially at that time in like the mid-90s when they were at the height of their career. Bro, these two were just phenomenal together, man. Unfortunately, it got killed a little bit in the sequel. Bad Boys 2 was not that great. Bad Boys for Life, nah. And then they have a new one coming out too. This year or next year maybe, which I'm not really excited to see either, you know what I mean? But this first one will always be special, man. You know what I'm saying? One of the best buddy cop action movies, in my opinion. I love that fucking film. Then we got The Batman. The latest Batman movie with Robert Pattinson right here. Very underrated, man. You know what I'm saying? This was one of those movies that was very divisive amongst the viewers. Me personally, I really liked it. I was not in love with it, but I like this whole new approach of the Batman, you know what I'm saying? Like making him a little bit more, even darker, more violent. Love that shit, bro, you know what I'm saying? I'm tired of seeing, you know, this movies with Batman trying to follow his, you know, code and then accidentally killing people and shit. Just make him brutal like this, bro. You know what I mean? phenomenal. I really, really love this. This is a great one. And yeah, man, this was great, man, with the Riddler, the Penguin, Catwoman, and Robert Pattinson, man. For a long time, I really didn't like this actor because of the Twilight movies, but bro, he won me over, man. I think he's a very, very, very underrated actor, man. You know, definitely check this one out. Batman, dope as fuck. But I still rock with the Dark Knight trilogy. I think that's still better than this, you know what I mean? Gotta be real. Then we got one of my favorite hip-hop movies of all time. I fucking love this thing right here, man. Beat Street. If you're into hip-hop, you should know about this. You know what I'm saying? And the other movie that gets mentioned along with it, which is Wild Style. But for me, my preference is with Beat Street, simply because, you know, it puts emphasis on the 4 elements of hip-hop, which, you know, Wild Style did too, but there's a better balance here, you know what I'm saying? Plus, you got the characters that you care for, you got capable cinematography in this. I mean, this one was great from front to back, you know what I'm saying? There is not much bad things I can say about it. Plus, you got all the legends featured in there, man, including, of course, DJ Kool Herc, who pretty much invented hip-hop, you know what I mean? And yeah, man, this was dope as fuck, man. I love Beat Street. So good. And then we have another Eddie Murphy movie. This is Beverly Hills Cop, the original one. And this was the breakout movie for Eddie Murphy, you know what I'm saying? I mean, before he made a movie called 48 Hours with Nick Nolte. But this was the one that broke him into stardom, bro. You know, after that movie, it was a rap, man. You know what I mean? And this movie is just dope. One of the most successful R-rated comedies of all time. I think it was the most successful R-rated comedy until The Hangover, you know. The Hangover beat it, but still, this movie will always be one of my favorites. I really, 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 really love this film right here. Yeah, man. Eddie Murphy. Funny as fuck, man. You know what I mean? Plays this cop, this Detroit cop who, you know, is on a murder case in Beverly Hills. You know what I'm saying? Just incredible. I love that film right here. So good. Just like this one. The Big Lebowski, bro. There are not too many comedy movies that I really enjoy. But this motherfucker right here, bro. The Big Lebowski was freaking amazing. I love the hell out of this one. Seriously. Big fan of this one. I'm a huge fan of the Coen brothers. Seen plenty of their movies. You know what I'm saying? But, bro, this one right here is one of my top 25 movies of all time. Just amazing. One of the best slacker movies that you can watch. One of the best comedy movies ever. Jeff Bridges as the dude. Fucking John Goodman as Walter. Steve Buscemi right here as what's he called? What was his character? As Donnie, yeah. Bro, I fucking love this film right here, man. So creative, so funny. You know what I'm saying? And this is one of those films where the comedy doesn't feel forced, man. It just feels very organic, you know what I'm saying? Unlike a lot of other movies where they try to force, you know, literally force the laughs out of you, but not this one. This one was handled with a lot of care, you know what I mean? And I just think that movie is brilliant in every way. And we got another brilliant movie right here. A Bittersweet Life. Directed by one of my favorite South Korean directors called Kim Ji-woon. And Kim Ji-woon has made some of my favorite movies of all time. Another one which I'm gonna get to later on in the series. I fucking love this film right here, man. This is modern day John Woo. You know what I'm saying? If you like these classic heroic bloodshed John Woo movies, then you will love this. You know what I'm saying? This is basically The Killer. You know what I'm saying? Just transported into the mid-2000s, and it's glorious, man. The action is phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? The main actor, Lee Byung-hun, also one of the best South Korean actors there are. Very, has a very remarkable face. You will remember him forever, you know what I'm saying? And you will recognize him when you see him in any other movie, because he just has one of those faces that are just, that will stick into your mind, you know what I mean? And this dude did such a great job in this film, man. You know what I mean? I love this fucking movie right here, A Bittersweet Life. Amazing. Amazing. And we got Big Trouble in Little China, bro. This movie, the first couple of viewings, I fell asleep during those viewings, man. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I was really, really bored by that shit for some reason. It took me many, many tries to get into it. I would say like after the third or fourth viewing, this one started growing on me. You know what I'm saying? And I started to love that fucking movie right here. Big Trouble in Little China is just funny as hell. It's kind of like a parody on the action movie genre. You know what I'm saying? It has everything in there. It has action. It has the jokes. It has the humor. You know what I'm saying? Some fantasy elements in there also. Just phenomenal, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, it makes me wonder why I was not so keen on this one for a long time, but eventually I came around and really started to love it, you know what I'm saying, which I'm glad that I did. Going from one parody to another, and this is one of my absolute faves right here. Black Dynamite. Bro, fucking crack. I love Black Dynamite right here, man. This movie is the bomb, son. And I guarantee you, if it wasn't for Hangover, Black Dynamite probably would have been a much bigger movie, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure if it wasn't for that fucking Hangover movie, which I think is one of the worst comedies ever, if it wasn't for that fucking movie, we'd probably have another Black Dynamite sequel, bro. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, 15 years later, this is still the only Black Dynamite movie there is. And it's really, really sad, man, because this is one of the best parodies you'll ever see in your life. A faithful parody to all of the blaxploitation films, you know what I'm saying? They got all of the quirks, they got all of the references. This movie is the shit, bro. So good. And Michael Jai White as Black Dynamite, bro, he's phenomenal. So good, bro. I love that movie. And then we got Blade of the Immortal. This is another Takashi Miike film. Came out, I think, in 2016, 17, something like that. I think it must have been 2017. Not really sure, but this movie is really dope. It's based on a manga. It's about a Ronin or samurai something, who is, like the title implies, immortal, who cannot die. And I think that's a really dope concept, you know what I'm saying? This movie is very, very well done. I like the action in this. I like the main character, who, granted, is an asshole for an extended period of time, you know what I mean? But, yeah, man. I really like this one right here, man. This was a good movie. Then we go to one of the dopest sci-fi films, Blade Runner. Ridley Scott film. I love me some Ridley Scott. I mean, he made this 2 years after Alien. I mean, this was like 2 years back-to-back straight sci-fi classics, you know what I mean? And this was another phenomenal film right here, with Harrison Ford in the main role, Rutger Hauer playing, another pivotal part. Just dope as a motherfucker. I love Blade Runner right here, man. This movie is just amazing. Also, I kind of like their look of the future. You know what I'm saying? It basically looks like China or Japan or whatever. Yeah, man, but this is dope as fuck, man. I love that movie. So good. Then we got Blade Runner 2049. This movie, I gotta say, Denis Villeneuve is one of those directors. It's hit or miss for me. I mean, he's made some good movies, but he's also made some movies that I'm not really too excited about. And this one right here was definitely one of the most visually appealing. But in terms of the story, this one did not grip me the same way that the first Blade Runner did. But it's far from bad, man. Far from bad. The only thing that I just don't like about the movie is Ryan Gosling, bro. I don't know what people find so cool about Ryan Gosling. I think he's one of the most boring actors there are, man. You know what I mean? And Jared Leto also, I don't know. The only saving grace, once again, were the CGI effects, and Harrison Ford was also pretty cool in this. Well, it was still a pretty good sequel, man. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that one was good. Then we got Blindspotting, bro. Blindspotting. I would say one of the most unique hood movies that you will watch. I just think that movie is so fucking good, man. You know what I mean? I love the actors, man. I mean, especially this guy right here, Daveed Diggs. One of the most incredible MCs you will ever hear in your life. Swear to God, man. Listen to his group Clipping and listen to those songs, bro. I mean, it's industrial rap music, but the way he raps over this shit, it's beyond incredible, man. I cannot wrap my head around how he can write to those beats, man. This dude has incredible lyrical capabilities. Flows for days, bro. My God, dude. This dude is fucking amazeballs. Gotta check his music out, man. Daveed Diggs, seriously, one of the most underrated MCs there are. And his acting, fucking dope. You know what I'm saying? He was phenomenal in that movie, man. Just like the white dude. You know what I mean? Such a good hood movie. Very unique, like I said. Definitely need to watch this one. It's fucking awesome. Then we got the Boondock Saints. And it says, once again, German title, but here we have, you know, what were they called again? The McManus brothers, yeah. And their dad over here. Yeah, the Boondock Saints, just dope as a motherfucker. This one was directed by Troy Duffy. I think Troy Duffy is from Boston, if I remember correctly. This is one of only 2 movies he's made, and this was his debut film. And this turned out a cult film immediately. You know what I'm saying? I mean, my friends told me about it like in the mid 2000s, and yeah, man, this is just such a dope film. I mean, of course, it was inspired by a lot of movies. I think one of the biggest inspirations, once again, were John Woo films because of the bullet time and everything. But yeah, man, just the idea of this thing. 2 brothers killing mafiosi in the name of God. Pfft. Who thinks of that shit? You know what I'm saying? Troy Duffy was the only one who did it, you know what I'm saying? And did it in a beautiful way, I must admit. You know, the way he shot the movie, the action and everything with the limited budget that he had was just phenomenal, man. Unfortunately, the shit got killed a little bit in the sequel because the second Boondock Saints movie was... What the fuck was that about, bro? I really did not like the second one. But this first movie will forever be a cult classic to me and to everybody who has seen the film, because this shit is fucking dope as fuck. Love that movie. Then we have Bonnie and Clyde. 60s film based on a true story. Not the most faithful telling of the Bonnie and Clyde story, to be honest, because those were actually real people, you know, the original Bonnie and Clyde, but still, very, very well made film. Love. Warren Beatty in this, Faye Dunaway, also great acting job. Gene Hackman was also in this one. And the final shootout was one of the most shocking scenes in cinema history, especially for that time, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta remember, this one came out sometime in the early 60s, I believe. And bro, this movie is 50 years old, man, or 60 years old. Fuck it, I'm gonna tell it. They riddled those 2 motherfuckers with a bullet shower, bro. You know what I mean? And this was pretty crazy for its time, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and then the last one for today, Boogie Nights. Paul Thomas Anderson film. Dope as shit, you know what I'm saying? People kept telling me about it, but I put it off because it's about the the porn industry, and then to top it all off, Mark Wahlberg plays the main role in this. And I'm not a Mark Wahlberg fan, but bro, I'm glad that I decided to still watch it because this movie is just ill, man. You know what I mean? Acting was great, and it was just a very, very well directed movie, fast paced. You know, those 2.5 hours or whatever the runtime it is. Where the fuck does it say it? Oh yeah, 2.5 hours. They just fly by, man. You know what I'm saying? This movie doesn't watch itself like a 2.5 hour movie, man. It just feels like a 1.5 hour movie. It's just quick, snappy, you know what I'm saying? It's just constantly moving, and I love when movies are directed like this, you know what I'm saying? Dope film. Boogie Nights. Love that shit. Definitely check this one out if you haven't. And yeah, man, that was my Blu-ray collection. This was part 1. Part 2 will follow, I think, sometime in May. Yeah, because my sister is getting married soon, so there are a lot of preparations that need to be done and shit. So I won't really have the time to make videos, but I try to record another one sometime this month. If not, you will definitely see me by the end of May at the latest with another one, okay? So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know, leave your thoughts in the comment section, and yeah, let me know what you think, man. And maybe throw out some recommendations. I would love to get some movie recommendations. All right, till next time, peace out, guys, and have a good one. All right.